Hey, this is Ryan from 60 Cycle Hum, the Guitar Podcast, and today I'm showing you Big Red. That's what I call this guitar anyways, lovingly. I've had this thing around for 10 or 15 years now, probably closer to 15, and recently I've had it hanging in the background back here on the new set. People have been spotting it and asking about it, so I figured might as well tell the story of Big Red. Like I said, got this guitar a long time ago. I used it very heavily in a band that I was in with Steve, the co-host of the show, and Adam, our friend who actually made the theme song for the podcast. And I've just got a ton of memories connected to this thing, that is for sure. It was just one of my main guitars in that band. This or the Duosonic is what I was using at the time. Let's talk about what it was like when I bought it, where it came from, what I did to it, and what happened to it, and what I'm going to do with it. Let's cover all those bases. So when I bought it, I got it used from a local guitar store that's closed now. Guitar Trader was an excellent guitar store, and I miss it dearly. But anyways, I got it super cheap. It was like $100 or something like that. I didn't do any of the damage to the paint on this thing. All that reliking was already there. This was before reliking was really a trend, honestly. So I don't know what the person was thinking when they did whatever they did to this poor guitar. When I bought it, there were no markings on it. I still have no idea who made it, why they made it, where they made it, when they made it. I'm assuming sometime in the 80s when the Fender Lead 2 was a thing, because clearly this is a knockoff of the Fender Lead series of guitars. Same body shape. When I had the original pickguard, it was fully a nod to the Fender Lead series. Speaking of the pickguard, it came loaded with a black pickguard with 2 single coil pickups in it in the bridge and neck position. Both pickups were better microphones than pickups. They were so microphonic. I pretty quickly had to make modifications to this guitar to make it work. The pickups that it came with were not standard Fender style sized pickups, so I couldn't just fit a new set of pickups in there. And so I ended up cutting this pickguard out of a piece of wood veneer. It was so thin I could cut it with scissors, and then I realized that the wood was too thin to support the screws for the pickups pickup and the volume control here. So I had to reinforce it with surfboard resin and fiberglass on the backside. So you can notice that it's pretty uneven. It's kind of lumpy. It's very ghetto, but there's something just so cute and enduring about it. And, you know, I did it. I did these bad things to this guitar. So anyways, I had this Seymour Duncan hot rail laying around from another project. I thought that would be a lot of fun to stick in a weird position. Usually you see those in a bridge position and they're just so bright and so over the top. I thought moving it to the middle would pull back the tone a little bit, and it did. It's actually a really nice sound, especially for what I was using it for. It's nice and heavy and throaty in this kind of odd middle position that I chose for it. I had my buddy Cassidy, who's actually my friend who helped build the walls back here and helped build these speaker cabinets for me. He pinstriped the pickguard and the headstock for me. And I just used the crap out of this thing for years in that band that I was in. It just took a lot of abuse from me. There's a memory I have where I was playing this thing, and we were playing for a bunch of like high school kids at like a youth group or something. And I jumped off the stage and just fully, with my full weight of my body, landed on the guitar flat onto the ground. Like I belly flopped on this thing, and I thought for sure I just ruined this guitar. Nope, it was totally fine, completely held up. I just used to beat the crap out of this thing. I'm surprised that there's not relicking on it from me. I mean, maybe some of these chips and dings are from me. I don't know, but I do know that this worn off paint was there when I bought it. You can see through the edges of the paint that the body is plywood. It looks like some sort of interesting like marine plywood of some kind. Honestly, I've been curious to see what it would look like with more of the paint worn off the edges to really see that plywood. Parts of it look kind of pretty. There's a nice little sparkle to it. Let's talk about the neck on this thing. The neck, well, specifically the frets, are a big reason why this guitar has been laid to pasture and I just haven't been using it. The frets are super flat. Like, they're just almost barely there. It was fine for what I was doing with it years and years ago when I was playing it in the band, because I would be pretty ham-fisted and it was more about continuing a distorted noise than actually playing anything meaningful. But for my purposes since then, I just haven't been excited to use it because of those flat frets. I like a more modern, heavy fret. But maybe now that I've been getting into, you know, surf rock stuff over the past handful of years, and, you know, jazzier stuff and cleaner stuff, maybe I should give this guitar another chance. The neck itself has got this really fun, full baseball bat kind of feel to it. It really doesn't change width or thickness much from the heel to the nut. It's kind of just this consistent baseball bat sort of shape. Nice and round, really fills my hand in a comfortable way. So yeah, maybe I should give it another chance. Ever since laying it to pasture and letting it fall into disrepair, I've been using it as a parts bucket. You can see I'm missing the jack plate there that I used on another guitar. All the strap buttons are missing because I've used those on other things. I even had to harvest a string ferrule off the back here. Pretty savage thing to do to a guitar that I have so many memories with, but that's how it goes. A modification I had to make pretty early on is one of the tuner pegs fell off of its own shaft, and so I screwed an amp knob onto it, and it's just been there ever since. It is completely functional. If I put strings on that, it will tune it, and it's on there rock solid, and I'm kind of in love with the look now. If I change this thing to be a playing guitar again, I'll be bummed if I end up swapping out the tuners and don't have that look anymore. So yeah, what do you guys think? Do you think I should make it work again? Make it live again? I'd probably stick with this pickup at first just to, you know, have a walk down memory lane and show off what it sounded like. And then maybe sometime in the future I could cut a new pickguard for it and do new fun stuff as far as pickups go in this guitar if I enjoy the way it plays. The sky's the limit, really. You guys know how I like to do things. I could get pretty weird with this guitar. Maybe even do a neck swap. If the frets are a really big problem, maybe I'll do a neck swap. You never know. Or I'll pay someone to refret it, which would be an incredible expense for this junky guitar. So anyways, let me know in the comments down below what I should do with this guitar, if I should fix it, if I should make it play again. And it's a fun walk down memory lane with this guitar. Just holding it, there's a lot of feelings and memories happening. All right, thanks for watching, guys. Please like, subscribe, dislike, leave me rude and nasty comments. Support us on Patreon. I've been starting to do all sorts of fun stuff with Patreon. I'm been posting pedals there that are kind of like extra leftover demo units that I'm just not using and I need to make room. So I'm posting them there for sale at prices that are pretty dang reasonable. Also, I'm going to start giving away pedals or other things once a month to the $10 Patreons on the Patreon for this channel. How many times did I just say Patreon? Anyways, go click links. I don't care. Later, guys.